What's up, y'all? It's your boy 3 Stacks, and this thing going over a very interesting deck. Oh man, this deck is amazing. It's the Magnet Warriors. This is something that has been a request for quite some time. I've been trying to get them out the way. I really hope you guys don't think that I forget about you. You just gotta understand how hard it is for me to get the cards. It's like either my teammate has it, and if they don't have it, like I literally have to spend money out of pocket. I'm not the richest man on earth. I have a lot of financial responsibility, so I'm not really, balling out of control all the time. Most of the time I'm broke, and the money I have, it serves other purposes that really, they matter to me. Like, it's stuff like, I want to take my girl on a date, or stuff like, what, I really need to pay my light bill. It's just like, I'm a Yugioh tuber, but at the same time I'm a grown man. So this deck, I know that the person that asked to see it has been waiting a long time and kept, saying, hey, when are you going to show it? When are you going to show it? When are you going to show it? You forgot about me. I kept saying, like, dude, you gotta understand, like, how hard it is sometimes for me to get this. Every single deck profile you've seen on this channel, it's like, it's never free. I've always worked to get this stuff, and like, when you guys make requests of me, I try my hardest to do it. So I do apologize for the wait, but I kind of explain my reasons for why it took so long. Without further ado, it'll be worth the wait. I'm gonna showcase my build on Magnet Warriors. So for monsters, we play 2 Berserkion, the Electromagnet Warrior, and 2 Valkyrion, the Magnet Warrior. So basically, Berserkion can summon himself by banishing 3 Magnet Warriors from hand, field, or graveyard. That's how he special summons himself. And then on field, he's a Dark Arm Dragon. It's not a once per turn effect. He can banish Magnet Warriors to destroy a card on the field. If you have like 3 Magnet Warriors, you can literally just banish all 3, destroy 3 cards on the field. And then if he's destroyed by battle or card effect, he special summons 3 Magnet Warriors, which are going to be Delta, Magna, and Beta from your banish zone. And then they just get immediately summoned, so you can summon another Berserkion, or you could just do link summon plays, which this guy actually sets you up for a lot of link summoning plays, believe it or not. He's amazing. Berserkion is like one of the most powerful combo enablers of the deck. It's not that, oh, he outs monsters and cards and problems in your way. It's not, oh, he practically summons himself for free. It's, if he ever gets destroyed, you get a full board and you get to link summon after that all you want. And the Valkyrion's the oldest Magnet Warrior. You better not ask me what this card does. If you're a true fan of Yu-Gi-Oh, this is one of Yugi's ace cards. When he was playing like his deck in the show, he had like an Exodia deck with Dark Magician. Then he started playing Magnet Warriors with the Dark Magician. He played like Celtic Guardian. His deck changed a lot, but this was one of the variants that Yugi played. He played the Magnet Warriors, and Valkyrion was his ace. It's how he beat over Blue Eyes. And continuing with the monsters, those are the boss monsters. I play 2 and 2. You don't want to play more, because if you play like 3 of any of them, you break, you open them with them. When you draw these cards in your opening hand, you can't really do much. You have to have a setup. So you just play 2 of each because you need them for the fusion. And also you're able to summon them mid to late game. Or even on your second turn if you open up with Ties of the Brethren. 3 Delta, the Magnet Warrior. He's really good. He's the only reason why I'm able to do rank 4 plays. And he also loads you up for Berserkion. He sets you up for so many different plays. He's just amazing. The card is just dope, man. I'm telling you. He's the only target for the Beta, the Gamma, and the Alpha. I don't know why I said Delta, but it's Beta, Gamma, and Alpha. It's the only targets for him to tag out on your opponent's turn, and this is the only monster they can summon. And after that, it's pretty much like you could overlay for Emerald if it existed, but it's banned now. But we pretty much go into Baguska. It's the only rank 4 that I play. And if not, you can link summon with all 3 of these. And then they get their effects off where they can actually banish, I believe, let me see. Yeah, it says banish 3 level 4 lower Magnet Warriors from your graveyard except for Delta. And then you can special summon Valkyrion from your deck or hand, ignoring its summoning conditions, which is really dope. I like it. It doesn't really come up, but it's the fact that you can do that, like to be more aggro. Instead of going for like a rank 4 with Baguska, you can just go for an immediate push, like link all of them off into a link 3, and then summon Valkyrion, and it's just like really dope the way you can do it. I like it. But 3 Delta, and then next up you play. Let's move these up. You're playing 3 copies of Beta. Beta is basically the Stratos. Whenever he's normal or special summon, and it's an if and not a win effect, you can basically add a level 4 lower Magnet Warrior from your deck to your hand, and they all have the effect where you contribute them during your opponent's turn to summon a level 4, exactly, a level 4 Magnet Warrior from your deck. And it's a quick effect, which is real dope. They dodge certain card effects, and they immediately put themselves in the grave where they belong, and they serve other purposes in the future. 3 Alpha, he basically searches for the level 8s, Berserkion and Valkyrion, which is another reason why you don't need to play 3 of them. You can search them if you really need them. But yeah, I play 3 of him also. because opening up with him is sometimes really dope when you already have like your King of the Swamps and one of these guys. You open with him and you can immediately make your fusion, which is like one of the win conditions, honestly. Empyrean is such an amazing card. He's just one of the very few boss monsters that are very similar to Quasar that are still easy to make, even under Master Rule 4. And then we play 2 copies of Gamma. They all share the same effect to tag out on your opponent's turn. The only thing that differentiates is their original first effect. And his is the dumbest. If he's no more special, do you special a Magnet Warrior from your hand? You don't always have the targets. That's why I play 2 of him. You still play 2 because you actually need different names a lot of the times. Like, for example, if you summon a Berserkion by banishing 1, 2, and 3, and then you're in a position where you need to use 1, 2, and 3 again, and you don't play the second copy of Gamma, you're kind of like screwing yourself over at that point. So you kind of need to play 2 Gamma, but never 3. Then I also play 1 Sentry Soldier of Stone. He serves the art type very well. He's a level 3 Earth Rock type, so you can Ties of the Brethren him, and basically he summons himself from the graveyard if you control all rock type monsters for free. Just real dope. So like you can Ties of the Brethren, summon him, summon Beta and Gamma, Beta and Alpha, get a search off of both of them, and then, you know, tag out if you want to. But nonetheless, basically you can overlay him for something, or you can like do link plays with him, whatever you want to do, and eventually somewhere down the line when you need him again, he can special summon himself back. You can't do it when you link summon unless you're summoning a rock type monster that's a link, and you know, you don't really have any link monsters that are rocks right now. But the point is, he basically counts as free fodder for whatever you want. Even if you like, for example, like let's say you open with Ties, right? And you need to sack him off for some kind of effect, you can just bring him back right away. So he's just one of those cards that he gives me free plays, and he really does help you in the grind games, just giving a free level 3 so that you can just normal and then make your rank 3, or just a free level 3 so you can just like normal and make more link summon plays, which is really dope. So Sentry he's a nice one-of. I just don't see myself playing more of him because he always comes back whenever I need him. 2 King of the Swamp to search out the polys, and also to substitute himself for the fusion material if need be so only. For the most part, he's just 2 extra copies of poly because you're kind of trying to turbo Empyrean Magnum as quickly as possible. He's like the only reason why this deck is still good. Him and Berserkion, they're just amazing cards in general. And then for hand traps, we play 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. She serves multiple purposes because she happens to be a level 3 as well. If I was running Synchros, you would actually be able to Synchro summon because you play tuners in the form of the hand traps. In addition to the 3 Ash, we play 3 Ogres, which is real nice. We also play 3 copies of Joel and Lockbird. I felt like Magnet Warriors aren't really that good right now, so I wanted my build to be as competitive as possible. And, you know, hand traps do help. And the 1 Max C, that sums up the monster count. So basically, without the hand traps, Magnet Warriors aren't going to do too well. Granted, this is actually my teammate Cool Cuz's deck, and he took this to Dallas Regionals in Fort Worth. He actually went X3. And that was impressive because this was when Zodiacs were still legal, and True Draco Zoo was a thing. Wind Witch True Dracos is actually a thing before like the Invoke Dracos started like hyping up. And then again, you know, decks were a little different at that time. It was more or less True King Dinos, Dracos, and Zodiacs. Those are the big 3. And Cool was playing all of them. This dude only lost 3 times out of 10 rounds. Or I think it was 9 rounds. That was impressive to me, considering that he was piloting this deck. And he ran no hand traps. No, I'm sorry. I think he ran 2 Ghost Ogres and 1 Max C. I take that back. And then for spells, you just play 3 Ties of the Brethren, the best spell of the deck. Opening with this, you can kind of win the game sometimes. Then 2 poly, not 3. You actually never want to resolve more than 1 poly. You kind of just play it to see it more. There are occasions where you can resolve the second, but if you play 3 poly and 2 King of the Swamps, you're never going to resolve all 3 polys, so eventually you're contributing to brick hands in the future. So that's why I like the 2 and 2 ratio. You could just do 3 poly and 1 King of the Swamp, but King of the Swamp actually happens to be a level 3 for rank 3 plays, and also happens to be a substitute for any of the fusions you want. And then I also play 1 Soul Charge, just 6 spells. They're all combo enablers. Like, the way I wanted to do spells in this deck, I wanted spells to serve multiple purposes and not be so situational. But at the same time, if they were situational, they have to be blowouts. And these are these situational spells. These are blowouts. Poly's kind of not, but even though it could be considered situational, it summons a blowout monster. I don't play their field spell, even though it's here. Cool Cuz plays 2 of it. The way I see the field spell is if you're playing competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, this spell doesn't really do much. It's cool for little itty bitty baby combos that you do here and there that aren't really that strong. and then it's like it's just there after that. The field spell really sucked. I feel like if this said when this card's activated, you can special summon a Banished Magnet Warrior, or you can add one of your Banished Magnet Warriors back to your hand. That's something that they would have needed, but sometimes Konami prints cards that just don't really work. And to me, in competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, that field spell sucks. I know some Magnet Warrior players watching this video might differentiate from my opinion, but nonetheless, every man's entitled to his opinion, just like I'm entitled to my opinion. 3 copies of Solemn Strike and also 3 copies of Evenly Matched to sum up the main deck. It's a 40-card main deck. I just wanted to play the best traps. Cool, the way he played his deck, I'm going to show you right now. These are the cards that he was running that I took out to build it. Because this is not my deck, this is my teammate's deck. Like I said, you know, I had trouble getting the deck because my teammate Cool is a very busy man, and I finally got time from him. So I was like, give me your Magnet Warrior so I could do this deck profile. People have been asking me a lot about it. So he's running 2 of this. Let me show you all the Mirror Forces he was running. He ran 3 Quakings. He also ran a Blazing. He ran 3 regular Mirror Force. He played Book of Moon. He played Dark Hole. He played Dress. He played 1 Twin. He played 1 Torrential. A lot of these cards were really good, but the way I wanted to do it, I was like, okay, I could keep some of these traps, and I could just cut like 3 Ogres. But then I was like, you know what? I feel like hand traps serve a better purpose sometimes than actual traps, especially if you're forced to go second. Regular traps don't do much. You know, that's how I was like, Evenly Matched would be a lot better. So that's the main deck. For the extra deck, we played 2 copies of Imperion Magnum at the offset chance that you can actually summon the second one. He is the super conductive battle bot. I'm going to read this card to you. A lot of people don't know who this is. So basically, he must be fusion summoned with the above materials and cannot be special summoned by other ways. It's Valkyrion and Berserkion, the 2 big level 8 monsters. Once per turn during either player's turn, if your opponent activates a spell, trap, or monster effect or card effect, you can negate the activation. If you do, destroy it. If this face-up card in its owner possession leaves the field, you can special summon both Valkyrion and Berserkion, the electromagnetic warrior, from your hand or deck, ignoring their summoning conditions. So this is a very, very difficult monster to deal with. He's a negator on field. He's 4,000 attack and defense. And if your opponent somehow makes him leave the field, you'll basically summon Valkyrion and also Berserkion from your hand or deck, ignoring their summoning conditions. And what happens then is you can either A, fusion summon them and summon the second one, or B, just use Berserkion and Valkyrion to destroy cards on the field and attack directly for 6,500 damage. So you play 2 of them. He's amazing. We also played 2 Gorgonic Guardian, probably the MVP of the extra deck. This card is Fiendish Chain on legs. It takes 2 level 3 rock type monsters. During either player's turn, he can detach a material, make a face-up monster lose its attack, and it becomes 0, and its effects are negated. This lasts until the end phase of the turn. Then he has another effect. Once per turn, you can target 1 monster on the field with 0 attack and destroy it. That is not a detach effect. So this monster single-handedly outs pretty much any monster that can be, you know, that can be actually hit by its effect. It can just kill it. It can negate its effect. So, for example, BLs of the Diabolic Dragon's like, oh, I can't be destroyed by anything. This dude's like, your effects are negated now. Your attack is 0. I can either A, attack over it for 1,600 and still destroy it, or B, just destroy it flat out. This card is probably the best card in the extra deck, and one of the few decks that can actually make this is Magnet Warriors. It's Magnet Warriors and then Triamids. Then we also play Double Breaksword because popping cards and clearing your extra monster zone can be relevant if you're not in a position where you can link summon. Then 1 Levier because you banish so much, and also 1 Baguska where you do the combo with ties and you basically tag out for 3 different, for 3 deltas, 3 of him. And then, you know, you just overlay 2 of them for Baguska, and whenever you do his standby effect to detach, the delta gets its effect from Grave, banishes, and then summons Valkyrion, and then you can just go off from there. Then you'll switch him to attack, and you go aggro at that point, which is really dope. So, you know, Baguska helps. And then the rest of the deck is basically links. This deck actually link summons pretty easily. It's nice that the Magnet Warriors are able to just recur themselves. There's a lot of combos you can do. It's really dope. So for Link Force, we play Firewall and Boreload. Boreload can be summoned downright as soon as you open with ties. Like if you open ties and then you do the tag out shenanigans and you protect yourself with hand traps and strikes, you can just summon Boreload right off the bat. Boreload's just amazing. Trigate, because you can do co-link combos. Then for Link 2s, you play Mrs. Radiant, Proxy, and also Binary Sorceress. These are the 7 links that I chose for the deck. You could have just literally went for 3 Mrs. Radiant and called it a day. But once you make your Mrs. Radiant, it's like you can keep going at that after that. And this Link 2 really does start a lot for the deck. Like once you summon the Link 2 Mrs. Radiant, you can just go off after that and you can link summon a lot. It's like you'd be surprised how this deck can go off. Like when it opens up correctly, or if it just is able to steal a turn from your opponent in the form of hand traps and like strikes. And even if you're opened up with this guy, like you actually open up with him a lot relatively easily, believe it or not. So if you open up with him, hand traps and strikes, you're going to live a turn, guaranteed. And at that point, you can just link summon all the freaking heck you want, which is amazing. That will sum up the deck profile. Tell me guys what you think of Magnet Warriors. If you think they're cool, if you don't like them, honestly, you're entitled to your opinion. Leave it your honest opinion and feedback in the comment section below. Trust me, I read your comments. If I don't comment or reply to them, just know that I will eventually once I get the chance. But nonetheless, I do pay attention to everything that you guys say. And trust me, I take heed of all of your advice, you know, all your constructive criticism. Even like, you know, if I'm wrong and you're correcting me, I still take heed of it. I'll listen to what you have to say because you guys take the time out of your day to listen to what I have to say. So out of respect, I show the same courtesy to you. God bless you guys. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. Be sure to stay tuned for future content. In addition to that, we have a lot of older content that you'd be surprised when you see it. We also grinded yesterday and uploaded a lot of videos, and a lot of them were dual videos that you guys have asked for. And I asked that you guys take your time out of your day to watch those, because, you know, it's like if you asked to see it and you didn't even see it, you know, we kind of just like wasted our time doing that. And that's how it kind of felt, because, you know, we wasted a lot of time. And it was like there's so many people asking to see these dual videos, and then we upload them, and then it's like they really haven't been seen. And we're kind of sitting here like, dude, we totally could have just worked instead of getting those days off. We could have just worked and made money and paid our bills, you know. But nonetheless, we still appreciate you guys. And even so, don't ever feel like we're putting you down, because we're not putting you down. I'm honestly just asking you to watch the videos that you asked me to upload in the first place. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and sign out. You'll be hearing from me very, very soon. Peace.